Come and celebrate the holidays with Adam Carolla this December, Friday, December 5th at the brand new Santa Barbara Comedy Club. In Corona, California on Saturday, December 6th at Dos Lagos Amphitheater with Jay Moore. And on December 18th in Calabasas, California at the Sagebrush Cantina, a live Christmas podcast with Brad Williams. Get tickets for these shows and more at adamcarolla.com. On his drive-in, he saw a homeless guy roasting his chestnuts over an open fire underneath the 101. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. The Church are going to mandate you get it on. Joe Pistone in studio. You may know him as Donnie Brasco. You remember that movie? We're going to talk all about the deep cover world. It's got a podcast, Deep Cover, the real Donnie Brasco. Out wherever you find finer podcasts. Good to meet you.
My pleasure, Adam. My pleasure.
So let's walk all the way through it. You start with the FBI in 69?
69, yes, sir.
And the deep cover starts in 76, 75?
Well, that was the case known as the Donnie Brasco case. But I started working undercover actually in the late 70s, yeah.
How do they figure out who's going undercover and who's not going undercover?
Well, back in the day, remember, when I came in, there was no real undercover program in the FBI.
Uh-huh.
There was maybe 25, 30 of us throughout the country who did short-term stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe 2 days, 3 days. And it was basically street guys that were, you know, had some street smarts that knew what they were doing.
Right. So they wanted guys that looked the part, knew the language, knew the streets literally, and could fit in.
Exactly.
Right. And you were that guy.
Exactly.
One of those guys.
I grew up in Paterson, New Jersey, you know, basically a street kid.
Right. And how'd you get to the FBI as a street kid?
Well, you know, I always knew I wanted to be a police officer. I always knew I wanted to be in law enforcement, even though I grew up in a, you know, pretty rough neighborhood, and I couldn't get in. You know, I went to college, got out of college, and to get into the FBI, you needed 3 years of work experience, and that, you know, which I didn't have coming out of college.
Work experience.
Some
law
kind
enforcement.
Well, either law enforcement or some kind of supervisory position with a firm, which I didn't have. So I went into naval intelligence. I spent time in naval intelligence, almost 3 years, and then that qualified me to apply to the FBI.
And what were you thinking you wanted to do when you got into the FBI?
Just be an FBI agent.
And the undercover part, is that your idea? Is that a supervisor's idea? How does that work?
Well, back then in the day, how it worked was you know, somebody may have had a case and had an informant that could get you into somebody that was selling stocks and bonds, stolen jewelry, whatever. So they'd come to you. If you know, like I say, you get to know guys and how they operate and what they do. If they're good case agents, if they, you know, they're clearing cases, and they come and ask you, hey, you know, would you like to do this job? And you say, sure, why not?
So where'd the name Donnie Brasco come from?
Well, you know, that was a cousin of mine that I grew up with, who was kind of my protector growing up. He was a couple years older than me, and he ended up being a minister. And I always admired him again because, you know, we grew up together, and like I say, he was kind of my protector as a young kid.
And his name is Donnie Brasco?
Yeah, Donald, yeah.
I mean, isn't there a danger in using an actual guy's name because he may appear somewhere, that name?
Yeah, but you know, I never knew that it was gonna explode. So you know, I mean, I went to him, you know, and I say, hey, cuz, you know, I'm doing these undercover operations, and I'd like to use your name, you know, because you need a fake ID, you need a fake legend. And he said, sure, go ahead. Yeah.
And he's working as a minister.
Yeah, he was a minister. Yeah.
How far away is he?
Well, he passed on, unfortunately, a couple of years ago from COVID. But at the time, he was in I think he was in Glassboro, New Jersey. He had a big church down there.
And you're working where? New York?
No, at the time I was actually working out of. I think I had a case in Tampa, Florida, if I'm not, or Jacksonville, Florida, one of the two.
Okay, so you get his name, and you start the beginning of an infiltration. Now, I don't know. You were married and had kids at the time, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
So that seems difficult to be married and have kids and carry on this alter ego. Like, you can't return home every night, right?
Yeah, it was. Well, in the beginning, these cases weren't long term, right? My first long term one was a year and a half that I spent going up and down the East Coast. I infiltrated a group of thieves that were stealing high-end automobiles. And the way it worked is you came to me, right? Or you came to us and said, hey, I want a Mercedes-Benz. And I'd say, well, Adam, what color you want? You give us the color, what kind of interior you want. And then we go to the Mercedes-Benz dealership and hook it for you.
And was the stuff staying domestic? Like, it wasn't being shipped overseas?
No, that wasn't. That was for. It's funny because a lot of these people were businessmen that.
But it wasn't. I mean, I guess it was a different time. But it'd be hard to do that now. To just go steal a car and then just keep it here in the United States. Like, I know they'll steal high-end cars and they'll ship them to the Middle East.
They'll ship them to the Middle East.
But you couldn't really do that now, right?
Well, the only way you can do it now is if you had somebody in DMV that'll do the paperwork for you.
Well, we figured out recently through people at the DMV giving people truck driver's licenses that you can buy people at the DMV.
Yes, you can buy. Look, it's all about money, Adam. You know that, and you can buy anybody. Not anybody, but most people. If you flash them the money, they'll go along with the program.
So you would go get a car from the lot, from the dealer lot.
Brand new.
They pick out the color, pick out the interior. And would you have a universal key, or would someone on the inside make you some keys, or would you just use a Slim Jim? Like, how would it work?
Well, to get in, back in the day, you could use a Slim Jim. These guys taught me how to disarm the alarm systems. I mean, there's nothing that a thief won't know.
Yeah, ignition, lock, the whole thing. So you pop the whole thing.
Right.
Use a Slim Jim. I don't know. People know what a Slim Jim is.
Slapjack the ignition.
Yeah, the Slim Jim is a piece of sheet metal, 1.5 inches wide, 3 foot long. Slide it down along the window, inside the door on the outside, pop the latch, then go to the inside. The ignition has a lock, a column lock.
Right.
You have to screw it into where the key was and then pull. It's like a dent puller.
Right.
Pop the thing out. You pop the ignition out. Now you've freed up the lock, and you can put a screwdriver in there and turn the ignition.
And turn it on. And...
Yeah, I know, because someone tried to steal my truck, and I had to drive around with a screwdriver. I didn't have enough money.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Someone you knew, for sure. Yeah, this is a 84 Nissan Mini pickup truck, not the high-end Mercedes. So once you got it off the lot, then what would you do with it?
Deliver it. We take it to our drop, which was a garage, right? Mm-hmm. We change out the VIN.
The VIN, right?
And we had somebody in the DMV. I'm not going to mention what state, and we would register the car in that state, and then we deliver to the customer.
And these are just business guys going. What year is this about?
That was in 1970, 71, I think. Yeah.
So it's a business guy going, look, this Mercedes is going to send me back $20,000, but I'll pay 15 and just do it this way.
That's right, in cash money.
Basically, that's the business.
That was the business. Yeah.
Was it half off?
Well, it all depended on how good the customer was.
Uh-huh.
If they ordered one, maybe they ordered, another one, two.
But it was basically, I don't know, retail 71. I don't know, 16 grand or
Yeah.
13 grand. Or they're going to save a few grand.
Oh yeah, we might have sold a brand new Mercedes for like 10 grand.
But what was a brand new Mercedes in 71?
I don't
Now we got to
remember.
look it up.
Yeah,
well,
I
you
don't
wouldn't even
remember.
know because you didn't
No.
check. So when you're undercover, you have to engage in a lot of illegal behavior because otherwise you're going to get made, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you're undercover and you're stealing a Mercedes, let's see, 11.3 to 15.9. All right, so basically 11 to 16. Yeah, I started at 20 and I brought it down because I thought that'd be a little bit too much. Just over 12. Yeah, okay. So if cops had walked up on you while you were stealing a Mercedes, do you tell them you're FBI?
No, you never give it up. You go to jail. You take the bus and go to jail.
You would never go. I mean, never give it up.
No, and I'll tell you a story. What happened? I was stealing a car in Polk County, Florida, and the customer was in Miami. So and we hooked the car up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm driving it to Miami. I get stopped. Now, I had a 9mm in my back, and so the cops. There's no tags on the car or anything. So he actually was a Florida State Trooper. So he says, "You got no tags in this car." I says, "I know." I said, "I work for the dealership. I'm delivering it to Miami. I have to get it there in the morning." So he said, "You mind if I look through the car?" I says, "No." So it's brand spanking new car. So I pop the trunk. He looks through and everything. And in the meantime, I'm making sure he can't see the bulge in my back.
9mm.
The 9mm. And so he says, "Okay." He says, "Where you delivering it?" So I told him a dealership in Miami where I was delivering. He said, "Okay, go." That was the last time I ever carried a gun, working undercover. Because I figured, what am I going to do? He's going to bust. If I get caught, he's going to bust me for the gun.
Right.
And it's a whole lot of McGilla. So I never carried a gun other than that, working undercover.
So there is no talking to a supervisor once they bring you into the precinct. You
No.
have to stay undercover. And I guess the guys you're trying to fool, you get more street cred if you just got arrested, right?
Yeah, you get arrested, and then you get a phone call. So what you do, you have a contact agent that has an unlisted number or hello. We call it a hello number, and you would call him whenever they gave you your phone call, and you make like he's your attorney, and then they'll send an attorney down to bail you out.
The FBI.
Yeah.
Right. But you never tell whoever's arresting you that.
No.
Because why?
Well, because you don't know if there's any leaks. You're always worried about a leak, and
Right.
Unfortunately, there's leaks everywhere.
So stealing cars. What else?
Well, if I'm stealing cars, I worked undercover in gambling houses, infiltrating gambling houses. But after that when I went back to went to New York, and that's when the 6-year undercover operation started against the Mafia.
How's a gambling house work? You say gambling's illegal in this state, but we'll have a place where guys can play poker and do whatever.
Yeah, well, basically they were like casinos. They had poker tables, they had crap tables, they had roulette wheels, and it's amazing that gambling is legal in most states, but people still gamble with a bookie.
Were these places like underground, hidden, like
They were warehouses.
just warehouses?
Just warehouses.
And they could stay up in business for a while?
Sure, yeah. And what they do, they'd stay in a place for a couple months and then move to another one.
Chime. Ever get fed up with banks charging for everything? Overdraft fees, monthly fees, minimum balance fees. Yeah, me too. Chime's changing the game. Fee-free banking built for you, not the 1%. I switched to Chime, and it just took a few minutes. It was easier than I thought. Best move I ever made. Didn't just switch banks. I upgraded to a smarter, fee-free way of managing money. With Chime, you get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, plus access up to $500 of your paycheck anytime with MyPay. Some banks still don't do that. Forget overdraft fees, minimums, and monthly charges. Chime turns your everyday spending into real rewards and financial progress. Their new Chime card helps you build credit with your own money and get 1.5 cash back on eligible purchases. No annual fees, no interest, no strings. Never felt more in control of my paycheck. It's Chime, right, Dawson?
Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/Adam. That is chime.com/Adam.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
Hydro. Oh, this holiday season. Train smarter, not longer. The Hydro rowing machine delivers the best results in just 20 minutes a day. I know. I used mine last night. I put on Monday Night Football, and I just rode. Easy. 20 minutes. It works 86% of your muscles in one seamless motion. Twice as effective as running or cycling. Hydro is the ultimate full-body workout. Arms, legs, core, all in 20 minutes. You never have an excuse not to work out. It's right there. So whether you're training hard, staying consistent, or getting ahead on your new holiday goals, Hydro meets you where you're at, and it'll push you a little bit further. Their members are seeing real results, major weight loss, stronger performance, faster recovery. Every workout is led by Olympians and world-class athletes, filmed in stunning locations around the globe. With the largest library of rowing workouts, Hydro keeps motivation high all season. 90% of their customers are still active a year later. The newest product, Hydro Arc, cutting edge. GQ named it the best rower of 2025. I use Hydro. You should too. Give yourself the gift that moves, motivates, and delivers. It's Hydro, right, Dawson?
Head over to hydro.com and use code ADAM to save up to $600 off on Hydro Rower during this holiday season. That's HYDROW.com, code ADAM, to save up to $600. Hydro.com, code ADAM.
So the Donnie Brasco stuff, the story that's chronicled in the movie, that stuff starts after this.
Yeah, that started after the car operation.
And but is the car operation with the Mafia or for the Mafia, or is that a separate thing?
That's a separate one, yeah.
So the Mafia stuff starts after this?
Yes, sir, yeah.
And that's back in New York?
Yes.
And is that assignment given to you?
I was asked if I wanted to do it. I get back to New York, and I was actually assigned to a truck hijacking squad in New York. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, they were probably in all the truck hijackings were controlled by the Mafia. Mm-hmm. If they didn't hijack them, the loads went to them. Uh-huh. And they were high value loads, pharmaceuticals, mm-hmm. Coffee. You know, we're talking about tractor trailers.
Right.
So you can imagine how much each load was worth.
Right. So, like sort of illustrated in Goodfellas, you know, the trucker were sort of compelled to go along with it. I mean, they'd get the silver or get the lead, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, a lot of times the driver was in on it. Yeah. You know, at the time we'd call it a give up. Mm-hmm. Or if the driver wasn't in on it, they would ask him for his license, you know, and take all his information down, and you know, you give him the correct information on who hijacked you. You know, don't forget, we got your name, we got your address, we know where you live.
Right.
So, you know, they'd say, well, we got hijacked by blacks.
Right.
We got hijacked by Puerto Ricans, whatever.
Right.
Not really,
Right.
a white guy.
Yeah, because they're not rich, the truckers, and they got a family, and
Exactly.
what do they care?
Yeah.
It's not their stuff in the back
yeah.
of the truck anyway. So they're jacking all those trucks, and they're taking them somewhere, and then they have to fence the stuff, right?
Yeah, well, basically they're already fenced out. They take it to what they call a drop, and it's a big warehouse. Mm-hmm. And then whatever it was, and a lot of the food commodities went to major grocery stores.
Like coffee and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
coffee, shrimp. Went to major grocery stores.
Chains.
Yeah.
Really? So they would be involved with this?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not the owner, but the guy, the manager of the store.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, in a weird way, you think about Mexico, or you think about the Somalis running their grift in Minnesota. It's like, I don't know, are these people criminals, or are they just kind of in on discounted stuff? Like,
They're criminals. They're criminals.
all right, well, who's this person? I talk to these people, right? I go, women will do this all the time. I go, I'm going to buy this dress. I go, you wear it one time. They go, no, I'll just buy it. I'll wear it, then I'll return it.
Yeah.
I go, well, that's not right. They go, who cares? Now, look, that ain't Al Capone, but
No,
it
but-
shows people are willing to be flexible.
Yeah.
They'll do things to save a few bucks.
Exactly. But
I mean, how much different are the guys buying the shrimp at the Albertsons than the woman who just buys the dress on Amazon, wears it to the event, and then returns it the next day? It's all a grift,
it's
right?
all a grift. Sure it is.
So people are griftable.
Very.
They have a high potential for grift, and that's why offering stuff doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's funny because the suit that I wore when I reported to the FBI was off the back of a truck.
Really? When you reported date in 69.
Yeah, because remember I told you the neighborhood I grew up in was, Mafia,
Right.
not dominated but infiltrated. Mm-hmm. And you know when you went to this particular warehouse or store that all this stuff was off the back of the truck, and like I knew you did it. You're a guy from the neighborhood.
Right.
But that's the way it was when you grew up in those type of environments.
So you come to New York, and now it's time to really get into the mob stuff. And what's the crime family you're infiltrating?
Well, in the beginning, we weren't targeting one particular family. Mm-hmm. I was trying to infiltrate the fences that were dealing with the mob families. Mm-hmm. But I was lucky enough and fortunate enough that the first family that I actually got into was the Colombo family. Mm-hmm. I got into the Colombo family, and I was with them for maybe 4.5 months. And then I got into beef with two guys that were with this particular crew.
How do you get into the Colombo family?
Well, it's a whole backstory on meeting a bartender that was part of the Lucchese crime family, mm-hmm. Who I got friendly with by going to the restaurant and bar that he was a bartender at, and then him once I got in comfortable, he felt comfortable with me, taking me to one of the all-night gambling games. Mm-hmm. And I met a guy there that was a Colombo guy, and there were guys there, mob guys from all the families mm-hmm. were there. Mm-hmm. So after a while, and my legend was a jewel thief.
Your legend
was a jewel thief. Well, because you have to have a legend. You got to be some kind of
Is
thief.
a legend a story, a past?
It's whatever your criminal profession is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
But you weren't a jewel thief. You just put it out that you were a jewel thief.
I just put it out. But
right.
Whatever you say your legend is, you have to know it.
You have to know the subject.
Right. So I went to school. I went to Zales.
Went to Zales.
Learned about diamonds and precious gems.
Right.
Okay, so I could discuss.
Are you walking into a Zales and talking to people about it?
No, I went to their actual. They had classes.
Zales had a school.
They had a classes.
Did not know that.
Yeah. This was back in the day.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then and if you're a jewel thief, what else you have to know?
Prices, I guess.
Okay.
Settings, I guess, and where to fence stuff.
And you got to know how to get in places, right? So you
Oh, right.
got to know how to pick locks.
Right.
You got to know alarms, and you got to know safes.
Right.
So I learned all of that
How do you learn how to pick a safe?
from guys in the FBI, tech guys.
And they can
get in anything.
really.
Yeah.
They use a stethoscope?
Well, no, that's a lot of television and stuff. But basically, what I learned was the different types, and you can blow this one, or you can drill this one, and alarm systems. So
Right, but you can't pass yourself off as this person without knowing anything about this subject.
that's exactly right.
Right. So you became an expert in that. That was your story, and now you're hobnobbing with these guys.
Right.
And they sort of trust you because you seem authentic and you have some, field of expertise. And then now what?
Well, after
And what was the beef with the guys in Colombo?
well, to back it up, how I got into the bartender, right? It's a long story, but you have to know your enemy. You've read The Art of War, right? Sun Tzu. Well, you got to know your enemy.
Right.
So my enemy at the time was the Mafia, or because we knew that they were individuals. So like I say, I knew about them growing up, but you know how the structure is. Do they have any rules and regulations? And the Mafia does. They have a lot of rules. One of them at the time was no facial hair. Right? You got to dress nice. Well, I had a bushy mustache at the time.
No facial hair.
Yeah.
Like George Steinbrenner.
At the time, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They wanted you to dress neat. You don't have to be you don't have to be, and if you're not a made guy, you know what a made guy, right? Somebody that's been for your audience, somebody that's been inducted into a particular Mafia family. That's a made guy, right? If I'm not a made guy, if I'm just an associate, and I get into an argument with a made guy, I can't embarrass him in front of people.
Right.
Right. That's a rule.
How long does it take to get made?
It all depends.
Yeah, I guess there's no set number, but what I mean is, like, if you're really into this and you're Italian, I don't know if you need to be Italian to get made or not, and maybe that is a Goodfellas thing.
You have to be Italian.
But let's just say you're paisan and you're really focused and you follow all the rules. Is it 10 years?
Well, I'll take me for example, right? I got in I was with the Bonanos for maybe 5.5 years, and I was proposed for membership.
To be made. All right.
Now, I know guys that were around for 10, 15 years before they got made. It all depends. It all depends. It depends on who you're with, who your captain is. If you were a big drinker,
they didn't want you.
They'd hold off. So there was no set time. But like I said, in 5.5 years, I was proposed for membership in the
Yeah,
Bonanos.
well, I mean, I think like any job, they see you're good at what you do, and you
got to be an earner. You got to be an earner. Yeah.
So, what was the beef with the guys from the Columbos?
Well, what happened was that once I was introduced to this guy Gilly, who was a Colombo, he was from Brooklyn. He invited me out and hang out with him and with his crew, and I did. And they were an active crew. They were a hijacking crew, right? So I was with them, like I say, for maybe 4 months or something, 4.5 months. And I get to the club one day, and there's 2 guys there that I didn't know. And I'm introduced to them, and they had just gone out of jail. One of them is a made guy, and one wasn't a made guy. One was an associate like me. I was an associate at the time.
Right.
Right. So they had some scores lined up.
Hijacking.
Well, these were actually burglaries.
Uh-huh.
All right. So we cased one joint, and I tell them I don't know that alarm system. I can't bypass that alarm system.
Is it a jewelry store?
No, it was a warehouse.
Uh-huh.
Warehouse, clothing warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And okay, they have another one lined up, and it was a safe job.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them I can't. You got to blow that safe. I said, and it make too much noise, and
you can't. You're saying you can't pick the lock. You got to blow off the door.
You got to blow it.
Right.
So now that's 2 of their scores that I turned down because I don't. Number one, I'm not going to help these guys rob something, right, like that. So a couple of days go by. I come to the club one day, and Jilly says, "Donnie, let's take a walk and talk." So we go outside and we're walking. He says, "Hey," he said, Patsy and Frankie are kind of pissed off that I told them what a good thief you were, but you said you couldn't do the alarm, you didn't want to blow the safe, and they're mad. So Frankie wants to sit down. Frankie was the maid guy, I think. Yeah, Frankie was the maid guy. So that's his right because he's a maid guy. So we go in the club, we go in the back room. They lock the door. Frankie puts a gun on the table. He says, "Donnie," he said, "if you don't convince me that you're as good a thief and you're a good guy as Jilly says you are, the only way you're going out of here is rolled up in that rug. It's the only way you're leaving this room." So back and forth. So, when you're in this type of situation, you always want to be on the offense. I don't want to be on the defense. So every time he'd ask me a question, I'd throw it back at him. Like, "Tell us who you thieved with down in Miami." I'm not telling you who I stole stuff with. I'm not giving up any names of anybody. So this goes on for like 4.5 hours, maybe.
That's a long time.
Yeah, well. So then finally, Jilly says, "That's it, it's over." Donnie's been with us all this time. Nothing's, he's always been good. Everything's been good. So now I got a problem because these guys called me out. And in these type situations, you can't lose your respect. If you lose your respect, you're done. You're done, right? So the only thing they know now is a physical confrontation. In other words, I can't go up to them and say, "Hey, let's shake hands. I know you guys have a problem, but let's shake hands." Because then in their mind is, why isn't Donnie pissed off? Right? So as we get up to go out, I hit Patsy because he's not the main guy. All right? I lay him out. Now Frankie just pounding on me, but I can't do anything because he's a main guy. I can't hit him. Otherwise, I'm dead.
Right.
Even though, So I'm beating on Patsy and Frankie's beating on me. So then finally they break it up, and but now I know I can't hang around these guys anymore because it'll come to a bad situation. So I grabbed Jilly. I said, "Jilly," let's take a walk and talk. And I tell him, I said, "Jilly," I said, I can't come out here anymore. I says, I appreciate everything, but this is not going to come to a good end. And he understands. So at these games, I had met another guy by the name of Tony Mirror, who was a Bonanno guy. So I started hanging out with him. Once I went to the game, I sided up to Mirror and started hanging out. down a little litty with Mira, who started to introduce me to Bonanos.
And that's when you get into that gang.
Yeah, that's when I get in with the Bonanos, yeah.
And what do you start on when you get in with them? Where's the movie pick up, by the way? Where's it start?
It picks up when I meet Ruggiero, when I meet Lefty.
And how accurate's the movie, and how cool is it to have Johnny Depp play you?
Well, your first question, the movie was like 85% on the money. And I'll tell you what wasn't on the money. And I'd like to get this out to everybody, is that there's a scene in the movie where I slapped my wife. Mm-hmm. Well, that was Hollywood.
Right.
I don't have to tell you about Hollywood. That was not in the original script. Mm-hmm. And I was very surprised on the day when they were rehearsing that, and that I had kind of a beef with the director over that. The other scene that wasn't legit was I didn't saw that guy's leg off with a hacksaw. Mm-hmm. When they hit the three guys in the basement, mm-hmm. I was told that they cut him up with a chainsaw because he was so big. And I never went to a psychiatrist. Me and my wife never went to see a psychiatrist.
There's a scene that I was talking to my producer about. I think it's with Michael Madsen. It just passed.
Great guy, Mike.
Went to his wake at Quentin Tarantino's theater. I love that guy too. I really like that guy.
Yeah, got along very well with Michael.
And this was a very interesting scene from the airport. I just thought, well, let's show it and we can ask you about it.
To your question, remember, this is Bob.
Let's see. We'll figure this out. Were you on set every day?
Yes, I was. And that was at the request of Johnny Depp, yeah.
This is Bob.
At Johnny Depp's request.
Yeah.
That's interesting. He just wanted to make sure he was getting it right. All right. So you got a guy, you're at the airport. He knows you as Joe. Who was that who came up to you?
It was an attorney that I knew.
Uh-huh. And he's calling you the wrong name. I mean, it's the right name, but it's the wrong name. And it had to be a constant thing, right, of going out and thinking you're going to run into people that you went to high school with or something like that.
Yeah, but that's what you deal with when you're working undercover. You know, you never know who you're going to run into.
So Johnny Depp was like, you should be here for all the shooting.
Yeah, I love that guy. Yeah.
Really?
Adam, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. You know him?
I don't know him.
I tell you what, he is a true gentleman, and we're friends to the day, to right now. In fact, he came and visited us in January in New Jersey. From Spain.
From Spain.
And he came for 2 days. We had a big dinner, and my wife was very, very sick. And he came. She was living. We were living at my daughter's house because of how sick she was, and he came and spent 5 hours with her.
Wow!
And just sat on the couch with her. Yeah, I mean, he's one in a million, man. When you know him, he's one in a million.
Are you in the witness protection program now?
No, I never was.
Oh, you never were?
No.
Oh, somebody said you were.
No.
But there was a bounty on you, right?
Yeah, 500,000. Yeah, but nobody's getting up every day now. Coming looking for me. Number one.
But when was the 500,000 put on? Because that's a lot.
When it came out who I was, before.
What year was
before
that?
The trials, that was in '82. Yeah.
$500,000 in '82. In '82, you could buy a nice single-family home here in the San Fernando Valley for, 125 grand back in '82. So, and now that house is, $2.3 million bucks.
Probably.
But the point is 500,000. You could buy a new Mustang in '82 for $6,500 or something. So, $500K is, $2 million bucks. But I mean, in 1982, gas was 79 cents a gallon out here. So that's a big chunk of change. Yeah. I guess you should be flattered by it, right?
Yeah, I was. I mean, it didn't sit too well with my family, but I don't think anybody, number one, nobody in the mob today is gonna pay out any money.
No one's paying out anymore.
No.
So, how'd you find out about the 500?
From informants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, informants. They went to the bureau and said, hey, the commission's put out a $500,000 bounty on the agent. Yeah.
So it was interesting. So, Depp. Was there anyone else who was going to play you in the Donnie Brasco?
There were. Well, you think of every A-list actor at the time. Was in the running and wanted, look, that's another story, a long story. Actually, we had. When I say we, I'm talking about Barry Levinson, who I signed with. He was going to direct it, and TriStar. They had always mentioned, but they thought he might be a little too young, and too good looking.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, yeah.
Right.
And Al Pacino actually, when Al signed on to play Lefty. He mentioned Johnny. He said, you ought to send this script to Johnny Depp. He said, he's a hell of an actor. He said, and so they did. And once he read it, the rest was history.
So now you infiltrate this new family, and what kind of jobs are you guys doing?
Gambling, a lot of gambling operations. Had big gambling operations. Had some fencing going on. These guys weren't out actually hijacking the trucks, but dealing in stolen commodities. Like I say, big gambling, some drug dealing. Yeah.
What drugs was it back then?
Back then it was cocaine and pills.
Look, being a human being is not easy. Got fitness routines, mental resilience, personal goals, burnout. It's a lot. And that's why there's Life Kit podcast from NPR. It's basically a guide for living without pretending life comes with a manual. Because every day you're making choices, some big, some small. They add up over time. Life Kit helps you make those decisions with more confidence. They've got real stories, clear takeaways, and advice you can actually use. No fluff, no judgment. I listened to an episode on burnout, and the big takeaway, sometimes stepping back makes you more effective than just muscling through. It hit home. They cover it all: relationships, finances, parenting, your career, the parts of life most people struggle with, and they give you a game plan to tackle it. The whole thing isn't about being perfect. It's about living a little better. Starting right now, right, Dawson?
Listen now to the Life Kit podcast from NPR.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, these guys keep your car on the road so you don't end up stuck on the shoulder looking like a dope. Friendly, helpful service. They know their stuff over there at O'Reilly. I've been there. Well, listen, I know my stuff. So I know the people who know their stuff because I know my stuff, and they know their stuff at O'Reilly. Thousands of parts and accessories stocked in store and online, so you don't have to panic when the check engine light appears. Need wipers swapped, brake lights out? You go to O'Reilly. They'll take care of you. If you're not a DIYer, they'll help you find a shop that'll take care of it for you. So whether you're a gearhead or you don't know a lug nut from a donut, they'll help you through it. No attitude, just real help. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. What were their fencing stuff? What was a big item for them in the fencing department?
Big item was jewelry. Jewelry, TV sets.
TV sets, that's right. Yeah, people used to steal TV sets.
Like crazy, man.
car stereos, TV
Yep.
sets, all electronics.
Yeah.
And in jewelry, would they have to pop the diamonds out of the setting, or would they just sell them as they were?
They were mostly all loose diamonds. Yeah, they pop them out. Yeah, if it was a setting, yeah, everything was popped. Yeah.
And then this stuff would just go back. It's sort of like the shrimp to the supermarket. Just go back to the diamond. The guys who are selling this stuff.
Yes, they'd sell it back to them, or they just sell it on the street. Sell it to somebody like. Sell it to, a guy that's a hustling on the street.
And so it's some drugs, mostly gambling, fencing some stuff.
Yeah.
How many guys are you responsible for bringing in and going to trial or indicted?
All told, I testified in 17 trials. Mm-hmm. And all told, we convicted 247 guys.
And so you had to sit there and look across at guys who thought your name was Donnie Brasco, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Feels uncomfortable. There must have been some of the guys you liked, right? I mean, you had a few beers with and a laugh, right?
Yeah, look, you don't spend. Once I got into the Bonanos, I mean, it's a 7-day-a-week job. Once you infiltrate, it's 7 days a week. I mean, I'm not living at home. I'm living in, I got an apartment in New York. I got an apartment in Florida where we had a nightclub. I'm not going home. My family's living across country. They're not, so it's just, like I say, it's 24/7. It's holidays because my legend, I was an orphan.
Uh-huh.
So I had no family. I was never married. I had, nobody that I knew of. So I'm spending Christmas Eve with these guys, Christmas, New Year's Eve, holidays. Yeah.
So they become family.
Yeah, and you look, like I said, you don't spend 15 hours a day, 7 days a week with guys and not find something in common.
Yeah.
That you can talk about,
Yeah.
Some guys you can't. Some guys are just stone cold.
Right.
And you have to remember, every guy I hung around with was a killer. I mean,
They're all killers.
They had hit guys,
Every one of them?
every one of them, yeah.
Why'd they have so many hit guys?
Because during the day, in order to become a member of the Mafia, you had to make your bones.
You had to hit somebody.
You had to hit somebody. Yeah.
From another group? Didn't matter.
Could be your best friend.
So you weren't going to be made unless you had a notch on your holster.
Right, but you have to remember, too, is that there's a lot of lying and treachery. So if you're close to your captain, right, he can lie for you. You say, yeah, I know he was in on a hit.
Right.
I mean, there are guys that made their sons or made their nephews or made their cousins and lied that they had been in on a hit. Mm-hmm. But the rule was you had to
be made because they want to make sure you're just sort of pot committed. Like you couldn't. Where are you going? You killed somebody.
Right.
Who are you going to talk to?
Right.
Right. So it's like, and was there any of that with you? Did they want you to commit a hit?
Yeah, I had been given a contract by Sonny Black to kill somebody. Yeah.
What's a contract? Is it just a verbal?
Yeah, it's you sort of seen where they killed those 3 guys. Right. Okay, that happened because there was a war, a rift within the Bonanno family. Okay, and those 3 captains were against the side I was with. I was with Sonny Black's side. Okay, so one guy, 4 guys were supposed to show up. One guy didn't show up.
Right.
So I got the contract. Sonny Black gave me the contract to kill a guy that didn't show up.
Right. And it's just, they just tell you.
Yeah. He called me in and he said, Bruno didn't show. He said, I'm giving you the contract. You got the contract on Bruno.
And so how does that work? did they tell you anything else? Like, I don't know, here's where the guy lives, or don't do it on this day, or do it that way.
Well, they thought he had gone to Florida, to Miami. So he sent me to Miami. He said, go to Miami, and because he's on coke, and we know he has contacts in Miami. So they sent me to Miami, and the deal was, if I found the guy, I'd tell the FBI, and they'd snatch him, and we'd make it look like a hit. Or if they found him, we'd just do the reverse. We never found him. But I was responsible for, in other words, I'm responsible for him getting killed. But I could say, hey, Adam, you got to kill him. But if you don't, it's my responsibility.
Right, but you don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
All right, and so if you did find him, you'd get the FBI to grab him.
Yeah, and we'd stage a hit.
You'd stage it.
Right.
How would that work?
Well, we'd grab him. We'd, of course, they'd incarcerate him, stash him away somewhere. We'd get a body, a look-alike.
Where do you get a body?
It could be a live person.
Oh, okay.
When I say a body, be a live person that's the same height, weight, know, and make them up. Get a good makeup.
Oh, you mean like take a picture of it?
Yeah.
And then send it to the.
Yeah.
Or use it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted verification.
Yeah. And put it on the news.
Right. Interesting. And so, what did your captain say when you told him I couldn't find the guy?
Nothing. Just keep looking. I mean, he didn't give me a timetable.
Right.
Just keep looking.
Right. But thankfully, you never found the guy.
Yeah, we never found him. We arrested him later, but not. Actually, he got arrested, I think, during the trials or something. Yeah.
So you had to get up there and you had to testify against these guys you spent a lot of time with, had some good times with. Were there any guys where you felt bad for, where you just kind of were like, this guy got sucked into this, he didn't really have a chance?
No. I never felt bad for anybody, Adam. The only thing, look, they killed Sonny Black, right? They killed Tony Mira. Jilly got shot. Lefty was on his way to get hit, and the FBI had picked it up on a wiretap, so they snatched him off the street and saved his life. Now, I was close with Sonny Black. Sonny Black was the kind of guy, he was a killer, but we could sit here and talk about whatever. You know what I mean? He where there were guys where you couldn't talk about anything but illegal activities or the mafia with. That's your only conversation. Not with Sonny. I had some private conversation, or I had some conversation with Sonny about family that that I don't feel comfortable in revealing.
Did anyone ever give you who got closest to knowing you were undercover? Did they?
Nobody.
They never. Was there ever instance, where they went like, "Hey, man, I know you're with the FBI," just to see what you'd say?
No.
They never even had an inkling.
No.
And so, how long? Now you got a wife and kids at this point, right?
Correct.
How do you figure out how to maintain that relationship?
Well, what I would tell him was I tell him I had a girlfriend in California. And I'm going to fly to California for a weekend and see my girlfriend. So I would fly there, and then I'd fly to the state that they lived in.
Oh, you go to California first?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the plane ticket and the whole McGill.
It's too traceable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then I'd jump on another flight under a different name.
Would you do it under Joe?
No, I do it under another ID that the FBI I had gotten from the FBI.
You never want to get your name on any piece of paper.
No.
Right. So you would leave a paper trail, so you had to go to California first.
Yeah.
Right, and then you.
And then I check, and you always had to check in.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I would call from California, and say, hey, I'm here. And I had a number out there that if they were looking for me, they could call, and somebody would answer the phone and say, well, hold on a minute. He's out now. He'll call you back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you had to check in all the time, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of, they couldn't just give you a couple days off, huh? You had to check in?
No.
It's interesting. And who'd you call?
I would call Lefty or Sonny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Back on the landline days, right?
Back in the landline days, yeah.
And you just go, all right, California.
Yeah, I'm here, and if you need me, you can get me at this number.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so it was drugs, it was gambling.
Yeah.
It was any prostitution in there?
No. The guys I was with never dealt in that. No.
Did they look down on it?
Yeah, my guys did. Yeah.
So,
now what they had was back in the day they had strip clubs.
Right.
But they themselves were not involved in my guys. When I say my guys, the Sonny Black's crew that I was with were not involved in prostitution out of the clubs.
Right.
But they were called titty bars, I guess is what you called them back in the day.
Was when you see a movie like Goodfellas, you go, that seems pretty accurate?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What do you think in the accuracy, Donnie Brasco or Goodfellas?
Donnie Brasco.
More accurate.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it showed more of the day-to-day life of these guys weren't always out in suits and ties and we went to clubs and stuff, but the mob is like really a step down. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's that like you see in the movies. They got palatial offices.
Right.
It's
not that glamorous.
It's not that glamorous. What is true is the treachery. There's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of treachery, and the jealousy is, hey, you're my captain. I'm closer to you than this guy is. Now he's jealous of that.
Right.
I'm making more money than he is. He's jealous of that because the captain. Look, it's all about money. The captain, is drawn to me because I'm. Everybody has to kick up.
The earner.
You have to be an earner.
So is it what shape is the mob in now, if at all? And what was it when you were there? Meaning, let's just say I took a business, you know what I mean? I said, Sears. I go, well, when I was a kid, man, Sears, there was Sears everywhere. There was 10 right in my, 10-mile radius, And they go, what about Sears now? They go, it's not really a thing anymore. Used to be the catalog. We used to go there Christmas shopping, and it was a big part, and it's gone, But there's still a couple out there, you could find it, whatever. Maybe it's trying to make a comeback, but it's not the Sears that I remember when I was a kid. Is it kind of that way with the mob?
Yes, it is. Back in the day, there wasn't anything that moved in the country that the mob didn't get a piece of.
Any commerce,
they didn't move.
Right.
They didn't get a piece of.
We talking the 50s, the 60s, the 40s?
40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, into the mid-80s until we start knocking the hell out of them, okay? Back in the day, they owned politicians, okay? They corrupted law enforcement, okay? They corrupted judges, okay? Today, we're talking about the Italian Mafia in the United States. They're just another organized crime group. Why? we took the unions away from them. They don't control the Teamsters like they did, right? And the Teamsters controlled everything that moved in the country.
Right.
They don't control politicians like they did. They don't control law enforcement like they did, and they don't control judges the way they did. They're just another criminal element of the country. Now,
it's a lot like Scientology. They used to have a lot of power, and now not as much, but they're still around.
They're still around, yeah. Now, will you ever wipe them out? No, you'll never. Because it's human nature. People don't want to work. People want to be thieves. You notice all the big busts in gambling. Although gambling's legal, right, all over the place, people still bet with bookies.
Right.
Why?
I don't know. Why?
Why? Number one, you don't want to be on paper. Right? You go to a casino, you win, you're on paper.
Right.
You win big, you're paying government taxes. Right? You bet with your bookie, and there's no paper. It's between you and your bookie. And if you win, you're not paying taxes.
Right.
You're under the radar.
Now, it's kind of like they legalize marijuana and people still buy the stuff that's not the government certified, approved, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of like being off the books.
Yeah, exactly.
And also there's money to be saved.
Yeah.
So it's sort of on the way out. Now, were the other, Venezuelan drug cartels and stuff like that, were there other groups, international groups, trying to kind of infiltrate or take some of your turf or any of that back when you were at it?
Yeah, back in the day, the Russians.
Oh, the Russians, right.
The Albanians. Okay. They all deferred to the Mafia. No more today. No more today.
So back then, they knew their place.
Right. Now, the Albanians and the Russians, they do their thing, and they don't worry about the American Mafia at all.
Interesting. So, there was a pecking order. There was respect. There was stuff you did, stuff like no facial hair.
Yeah.
Dress nicely.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
In fact, they told me I had to shave my mustache. Once I got accepted into the Bananos, that's one of the things they said, Donnie, you got to shave your mustache.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, George Steinbrenner, owner of the Yankees, I think famously had a no facial hair thing for, I don't know, X amount of years.
Until what, last year, right?
I don't know when he stopped, or when it stopped.
I think it was last year.
And I don't know, maybe the mob took a page out of Steinbrenner's playbook, or maybe Steinbrenner took a page out of the mob's. I don't know who thought of it first, but it's interesting. All right, so the podcast is called Deep Cover, The Real Donnie Brasco. It's available wherever you find, and you're telling stories and interviewing people.
Yeah, I think we're going to start up the next season in January. Yeah.
And we doing it once a week?
Yeah, once a week, yeah.
Once a week. Joe, thanks for coming in. And come back, because I'm sure there's a whole part two. Go ahead.
Can I mention something to you?
Yeah.
I have my good friend Leo Rossi, Leo the actor, he's also a writer. He wrote a script about a gentleman named Tony Farincola, who has Tourette's syndrome. And I guess Tony found out about it when he was 12, 13, 14. And the script is how he progressed through manhood and overcame this and actually became almost a rocket scientist. I mean, his degree in engineering and everything. So Leo wrote this script about it. It's a good feel movie, and that's what we're trying to get some traction on now.
Can you get Johnny Depp to star in it?
Well, I haven't talked to Johnny about it yet, but I'd like to get him the script and see if he'll make any suggestions. But we're shopping it around now.
I know. I'll tell you off the air, but I know a guy read that script or could do something with
I'll
it.
tell you,
who likes this kind of stuff?
It's a terrific script, and it shows you how a gentleman can overcome. You know what Tourette's is, right? I mean, you know what it is, yeah. Can overcome that and become very, very successful businessman. I mean, very, very successful. And it's a feel-good script. It just is. And another thing, if anybody wants any Donnie Brasco merchandise, you can go to joepistonemerch.com.
Joe Pistone, Pistone.com. All right,
Merch.
We'll talk off the air. We'll do the news right after this. Omaha Steaks. Well, holidays are coming up. A lot of pressure to find the right gift and make the perfect meal. This year, Omaha Steaks makes it easy. Easy for me. I mean, they deliver the world's best steak experience right to your door. Whether you're hosting guests or gifting loved ones, they're USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, and comfort meals. Well, they hit the spot every time. I've had Omaha Steaks as a gift. Cooks up perfectly every time. Flavors stand up, top quality, top shelf. Love Omaha Steaks. I also given packs out to friends, and they can't stop raving. I mean, because who doesn't want that gift? Orders placed by 6 p.m. Eastern Time, shipped same day. Perfect for last-minute holiday magic. Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917. 5 generations of unbeatable quality. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef with more marbling than your average steak. No wonder chefs rely on them. Am I right, Dawson?
Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites from Omaha Steaks. Just visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Adam at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, code Adam.
This November, action is free on Pluto TV. Go on the run with Jack Reacher.
Every suspect was a train killer.
Then buckle up for Drive, World War Z,
Every human being we save is one less to fight.
and Charlie's Angels.
Damn, I hate to fly.
Launch into sci-fi adventure with The Fifth Element and laugh through the mayhem in Tropic Thunder.
What is going on here?
All the thrills, all for free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Jim Carolla, ta-rum-rum-rum-pet. That Adam bought for you, ta-rum-rum-rum-pet. About your gift, my son, ta-rum-rum-rum-pet. I want a different one, ta-rum-rum-rum-pet, rum-rum-rum-pet, rum-rum-rum-pet. Sour notes ring out, ta-rum-rum-rum-pet, when he blows.
You know, I never really thought about it, but my dad's entire life was he played the trumpet and you didn't. That was his entire world was I play the trumpet and you don't play the trumpet, except for no one ever stopped and went, I don't think he's very good on the trumpet. It wasn't like Herb
You wouldn't
Alpert.
understand. It's the notes that you don't hear.
Yeah, well, I would appreciate not hearing more notes around Thanksgiving, but no one even. It was a weird. It was weird. I realized, I don't know if you vibe on this at
Listen,
all. But
shoot me. Yeah,
I'm from North Hollywood.
you are.
There was 0 hockey players in all of North Hollywood. There was no hockey because there was no ice.
No rink, no pads, no gloves, no hockey mask, no slap shot, no puck, nothing.
Hockey cost money because you would have to buy your own equipment. Do you think Chris Carolla or the aforementioned Jim Carolla was buying Adam Carolla hockey skates?
No.
By the way, that you grow out of every year?
Yeah.
By the time you were 17, you had 5 pairs of hockey
No,
skates?
listen, I had plenty of experience with this with hockey skates. They bought me size 12 because they knew my feet were going to get
really?
way bigger. Yeah,
All right.
And they were like size 8.
So
and they swole up famously.
We had nobody But one guy played hockey, and his name was Jeff Katz, and he would show up with that big bag that had all the equipment in it.
CCM has a distinct smell.
Now,
he probably
has a smell. But I don't get what's different about it. I played Pop Warner football for 7 years. They would issue pads, jerseys, helmets, thigh pads. It was the same thing. They would just issue you the stuff. But somehow in hockey, you had to provide all your own stuff.
State funded.
My family wouldn't pay for a pair of elbow pads, right? So none of my poor buddies did, and they certainly wouldn't pay at a rink. You'd have to go to the hockey rink. You'd have to go to the skating rink. Anyway, here's my point. Jeff Katz played hockey. None of us did. So he was the greatest hockey player that we'd known in all of the Valley, and he would regale us with stories about, hat tricks and slap shots, and we just sit there and go, wow. Jeff Katz was a squatty Jewish guy who wasn't a great hockey player. But the point, he didn't go pro. He didn't get
any neighborhood in Ottawa, he'd get stomped.
But hold on a second.
I like the idea of Jewish Jeff Katz, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Body checking you.
But if someone would have got hold of any of us and went, who's the best hockey player in America? We go, Jeff Katz. And I realize, smart, because when you're playing football, I played football. I had friends who played football. We knew who the good players were and who the shitty players were because they were on the team. We'd play with them. Everyone knew everyone's basically aptitude for baseball, basketball, and football because we would play them all day. You knew the guys that were good and the guys that weren't good. There was no line. But Jeff Katz was the greatest hockey player in the world because we never saw him play hockey, and we didn't know anyone who played hockey, and no one had any equipment. And I realized that my dad did that with the trumpet. He Jeff Katz'd us with the trumpet. He'd be the guy show up with the trumpet, and no one else could get a sound out of it. If he ever got to a place where there are people who knew how to play the trumpet, then they would have fucking laughed him right out of the room.
I admit the only trumpeter that I know is Jim Carolla.
Right. Is that why you didn't let him open for you at the El Portal playing the trumpet?
He did.
Yeah, he offered to do that.
Listen, you could have done that.
He did go out there and play his trumpet, I think.
On a corner with a hat on the damn
must have been backstage.
No, that story. you were having beers. Yeah. No. Here's what happened. This is the sad. It's a sad testimonial. But my dad, I've been in this town for years and years. I'm at the Acme Theater. Acme Theater's up the street from the El Portal Theater. Literally, same street, Lancashire. It's a block. You wouldn't drive if someone said go to the Acme Theater from the El Portal Theater. I've been at the El Portal Theater. I've been at the Groundlings Theater. I've done the Man Show, taped on Hollywood Center Studios, 4 seasons of that. I've done 4 seasons also on Hollywood Center Studios of Loveline Studios, Culver City. I've been every theater, every lot, filmed everything. My dad lived in Valley Village. He lived 2 miles from the El Portal Theater. He lived 3 miles from where we shot the Man Show, whatever. He has never said to me, hey, man, could I come out, check out the taping of the Man Show or Loveline or anything? And one day, he just calls me out of the blue. And this is how you need this. Listen, this is how you need to know everybody.
I feel a breakthrough coming.
Everybody. My dad called me, and he goes, hey, you playing at the El Portal Theater? I go, yeah. He goes, what night is that? I go, Saturday night. Oh. Well, maybe I could come by. I was like, okay. Now, all right. What's going on? Well, something's going on. You want to know why? Because people have patterns, good and bad.
Yeah. So what was going on?
Well, it always reveals itself. It always reveals itself. He goes, well, maybe I'll come by and check out the show. I go, I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking, old man, I've been at this for 20 years. You've never checked out a show.
Well, what year is this?
This is like 2010.
Oh, okay.
Let's say. Remember the Man Show's 10 years old. I taped 105 episodes of the Man Show, but he's never come by to check it out. I've done 300 and something episodes of Loveline on MTV. He's never come by to check it out. I've done everything in this town. He's never come by to check it out.
Something piqued his interest.
Yeah. People, you can set your watch on people. So I go, really, you want to come by? He goes, yeah. Let's check out the show. Let's come watch me perform, huh? He goes, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll bring my trumpet. And, maybe I'll go out and play first. And then you'd come out. And I was like, all right, we're back. Now we're back. Because remember 10 seconds ago, I just thought you wanted to come check out the show.
Right.
That was wildly confusing.
Trumpet and comedy, they'd be like, if I had a friend who's a magician and say, hey, I'm going to come to your show tonight, but before you go up there, I'm going to go up and solve some math problems.
Yo, I would have done it. I would have done it 100%. I would let my dad play the damn fiddle and slapping, you know what I mean? Like some country bumpkin playing a damn saw on stage. I'm telling you, man.
It is, listen, everybody, you tune in, you study patterns, and when the pattern is broken.
Yeah.
Now, look, there's a version of a pattern where I'm performing locally. I look out. And I don't see my dad in the audience and go, oh, my God, call the paramedics because he's not in the audience. He's probably slipped in the tub and is bleeding out. There's that version.
It's just a trumpet resting on a folding chair.
Yeah, there's different patterns. There's good and bad.
It's all just variations on that note.
You go to dinner with Jimmy Kimmel and he doesn't reach for his wallet. Something's going on with that guy. Because he pays, and then there's another pattern where you go out to dinner with a guy who never pays. And then the bill comes and he goes, let me take care of that. Let me take care of that. And you go, now pattern broke. You
what about the pattern the guy talks over you sometimes?
Interesting. He goes, so if you see him reach for the check, but he never reaches for the check, you got to go pattern broke. And then hands the guy the credit card. And then what the guy will do is you'll go, really, you're paying for the bill? Like, you pay every time I pay. And then at some point they go, I got a business proposition I'd like to get you in on. It's going to be pretty lucrative, but we need some seed money. And you go, oh, okay. He's paying the bill because he's now hitting me up for cash for his bad business idea. See, patterns, I'll tell you the greatest.
I'm telling you, man, it's NFTs, right? It's just pictures of apes.
The thing about the patterns is it's when the people break their own pattern and don't know it and deny it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
That's the funny part. The greatest pattern story, told many times, been a while. Many years ago, I leased my wife a car.
So you leased your wife, and then you got a car?
Mercedes.
Got it.
I think it was a Jaguar. It was always a luxury automobile. And it was almost new. And one day I came home, and there was a big scuff. Looked like someone took a hockey puck and just scuffed it, like black, along the bottom. And I do what I do. I thought, well, I go down to the garage, get some buffing compound, rubbing compound. I'll rub that right out. It didn't cut into the paint.
Now, we talking on one of those wheelie gigs, motorized, or
don't need
turtle waxed sort of?
Yeah, listen. Yeah. People, you get a rag and you wet it and you put it in some rubbing compound. It's got a little bit of grit in it. It'll take out a lot of scuffs, a lot of stuff.
All right.
And then you wax it up after that.
Got it.
So I started to do that, and I thought, why do I got to do everything? Why can't people take care of their own shit? So I said to her,
you sent her out there with the car Nuba?
I said, you got a nice big scuff in your car. Why don't you go get some of that rubbing compound? It's all in the garage. Just go get it and rub it out. Just take care of it. It's brand new. It's a brand new Jaguar. I said, all right. I said, okay. And next day I came home, there's scuffs there, and then the next day there's scuff. And the scuff never left, right? And then I'd go home periodically. I'd go, hey, you still got that big scuff in that brand new car I lease you. Why don't you go in the garage and get a little of that rubbing compound from the cabinet and clean it up? Okay. Never happened. Months went by. And that's essentially my life. Just because I'm leasing the car and paying for the insurance and everything, why would you listen to me and take the scuff out? But anyway, it didn't happen. Never happened. And then at a certain point, you do what you do. You go,
that's why y'all broke up?
Yeah. That's why we got divorced. I said, all right, forget it. I don't care. Drive around with a scuff in your car. I don't care. But it's good to do stuff.
Irreconcilable scuffness.
So I forget about it. And one day I come home and she goes, hey, that stuff in the garage with the something rubbing stuff paste, is that down in the cabinet down there? I go, why? She goes, I want to clean up the car.
Wait, how many months and weeks? I'm a permanent scuff, and then now weeks, months later. All right.
Months.
All right.
Months later.
All right.
I
Don't
go,
hide it.
Now, anyway, listen, don't try to explain your pattern to me. I'll explain your pattern to you. So she goes, I just want to, what was that stuff called? How was that working again? I go, why? She goes, I want to clean the scuff off the car. I go, why? She goes, I want to get it cleaned up. I go, where are you going? I'm going to the airport to pick up Nils Lofgren from the East Street Band. I go, okay. Well, now I know. What are you talking about? I go, well, listen, I know why you're cleaning the scuff off the car now. Well, that has nothing to do with it. I go, all right. Either you know it or you don't know it. I know it. I know the pattern.
Some people may not be aware, yes. I think people are like, oh, it needs to look nice, but she doesn't connect it with old Dolph Lundgren.
That doesn't make you a serial killer. It just means you don't know your own patterns. Or you don't know that I know enough to know your patterns, I guess.
Could you imagine, though, if Lynette was actually picking up Dolph Lundgren? Then he'd be like, yeah, okay. I'll do it. I'll clean up this car.
I would clean it up. Is it Dolph or Nils?
No, it is Nils Lofgren.
But if it's Dolph Lundgren.
Just said Dolph Lundgren.
Man.
Sorry, Bob. Mayhem.
All right. So, know your own patterns, everybody. Simply Safe. Quick story. I hit that point where I realized that my security system was basically just a deadbolt and a wish. Well, that was before Simply Safe. It's a little random out there. Late night deliveries, random cars rolling by. Finally said, time for an upgrade. And that's where Simply Safe comes in. Simply Safe, 2 eyes in there. It's proactive. Traditional systems react after somebody breaks in. Simply Safe can help stop a crime before it starts. Simply Safe keeps your home safe with a double layer of defense. First, AI cameras detect potential threats, and then live agents confront them while they're still outside, not in your home, outside your home, before they can do real damage. Telling them they're on camera and the police have been dispatched and they're on their way and they must leave. That's why I trust Simply Safe at my place, protecting the studio and all the gear here, front door, driveway, all that stuff, all the stuff that needs to be protected. Because real security stops crime before it starts. Right, Dawson?
Right now is such a good time to get Simply Safe. This month only. Get 50% off any new system. Go to simplysafe.com/Adam. Again, simplysafe.com/Adam. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This November, action is free on Pluto TV. Go on the run with Jack Reacher.
Every suspect was a train killer.
Then buckle up for Drive, World War Z,
Every human being we save is one less to fight.
and Charlie's Angels.
Damn, I hate to fly.
Launch into sci-fi adventure with The Fifth Element and laugh through the mayhem in Tropic Thunder.
What is going on here?
All the thrills, all for free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
What do you got for news there?
Here's the news. This is news to no one in this office, but the pastor shocks congregants by revealing himself to be transgender.
Oh.
Tim Dillon's hard.
Oh, man. The guy looks like Tim Dillon. Well, it's actually... Sorry. Keep going.
Sorry, Tim.
Mm-hmm. Do we have a clip of it?
Oh, yeah, we have a clip. I'm waiting.
Are my parents okay with this? Absolutely not. They texted me this morning and they asked for me to tell you all that they do not support me and that they have chosen their convictions and their beliefs over supporting their child.
Sort of a pat-to-pat situation.
Mm-hmm. It's nervous when there's a special announcement from the pastor. I'm not leaving. Hold on to that. I'm going to hold you to it. So rarely do I did not get into ministry to talk about myself or my personal life, but sometimes there are things that happen in a pastor's personal life that is going to find its way out into ministry. And so I am inviting you to join me in a season of creative transformation for myself, and I think for all of us. Imagine, so I get to announce with joy that I'm transitioning. I'm affirming and saying to all of you that I am transgender. And so, the best way to put this is that I'm not becoming a woman, I'm giving up pretending to be a man. What will change? Thank God you have never chosen me as your pastor based off of my appearance.
Oh, my God.
Amen.
I was waiting for pause it. I'm telling you, if you are going to transition, you want to be one of those little Thai boys, right? But you don't want to start from...
You're saying Lady Boy draft, top pick is Thai girl, boy, Thai lady boy. All right, I'm picking up where you're putting down.
What I'm saying is...
the defensive end and the 42nd end. I get it. He's a femme boy, but he's a beefy one.
You don't want... Well, how would I describe him as a male? So between Tom Arnold and Tim Dillon, and then the big gay guy from Modern Family, like somewhere in there.
Yeah.
That's a tough transition.
Definitely Bear vibes and trying to go straight to Twinkie.
Yeah.
Twinkie.
All right.
Sorry, that was a slip.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, tough. It's a tough road to hoe.
I'm not going to church. I can't imagine how much work. I am way too lazy
to molest back that priest.
Yeah, I cannot switch. I can't even. Do you know? I was talking about it with Jay Moore the other day. Like, if I come home from filming something and I have makeup on my face, I stand in the bathroom and go,
yeah.
I got to use soap. Oh, my God. And then as part of me start weighing it out, like, just go to bed. Yeah, well, you get shit on the pillowcase. Yeah, I know, but with the soap and everything, I'm so fucking lazy that I could not be applying makeup every day and wiping it off and squeezing my shit into
Maybe
this
if I had
and that.
lava, I could have done a better job.
Ugh. All right, let's talk about important things. I want to show you a clip. I took film of there's a job. The only work that's going on all of PCH and all of Malibu. I went and filmed it today. I was listening to Trump give his presser, and he was talking about pile drivers going all night. He had like a boner about it. He was so excited about it. Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. Okay, the last guy, brain dead Joe Biden, never stopped talking about racism and baggage fees for black people and knee room and whatever. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. This guy, you don't think he's a builder? This is him talking.
It was mistreated.
The White House.
And now it's being given love. And we're building one of the great, I think, maybe the greatest ballroom. We needed it for 150 years. They've been asking. You see the trucks and cranes and excavators in the background. And you hear them, and every time I hear them, I love the sound. To me, I love the sound. I wouldn't say my wife is thrilled. She hears pile drivers in the background all day, all night. They go till 12 o'clock in the evening, day night, pile drivers. Darling, could you turn off the pile drivers? Sorry, darling, that's progress. But
all right. By the way, lady, hey, could you stop this stuff? Guy, no, it's progress. We need to build shit. Sorry, ladies, we're building stuff.
All night with the pile drivers. All night.
Sorry, we're building shit.
Yeah.
That's what we got to get back to versus I don't know, a seat at the table, good vibes, nonsense, non-talk.
He knocked the whole damn house down and rebuilt the whole thing. It's wild.
Fucking pile driver.
It's wild.
But I went out this morning and I told you people, all right, one day soon I will dedicate 25 minutes to this subject, which is a metaphor for the reason why we can't do anything in California and in Los Angeles. And I'll tie it all together, but I can't do it in 5 minutes. It's going to take half an hour, but I'm working on it. I'm working on an expose that involves foundations as a metaphor for why we can't do anything in California. But there is one place only being built on all of Pacific Coast Highway. And I've been walking by there in the mornings and looking at it and filming it. And I told you guys that they were sinking 6-story piles or caissons into the ground. That's a 6-story building. It's a 6-story building in the ground. A foot of it may stick up, and maybe in some places more. But the soil line, there's a 6-story. When you're standing on that lot, there's 6-story buildings underneath you worth of these piles and caissons, and there's 35 or 70 of them, and they're everywhere.
Got it.
And we're building this thing. They're having to build a seawall now. And I'll show you. Now you go, what's a seawall? Well, first off, why do you need a seawall? We never had, the whole beach doesn't have a seawall. Has anyone walked on the beach and tripped on a seawall? It's all of Santa Monica, all of Malibu. You could walk to Venice Beach. There's no seawall. But if you want to build a house over the sea, you need a seawall underneath you for no fucking good reason. Now remember, it was just telephone poles going into the ground. Every single house built. I was in Miramar and around Santa Barbara. I was walking the beach and I was looking at modern homes. They built multi-million-dollar, huge cement caissons. I came across a place that was built clearly in the 40s. It was just telephone poles, smack 10 feet down, and then they have cross braces that kind of connect them and lock off the telephone pole. That's it. Place is still sitting there. I mean, it didn't burn down. The sea didn't get it. No seawall. No seawall, just telephone poles. And it's the place next to it has a massive seawall and all the caissons in the world, but the place without it is still there. But anyway, I filmed this and I figured out how they're going to build this seawall, and I'll explain it to you guys, and I'll try to do it in such a way that you understand it. Oh, this is Dutched sideways. Sorry. Oh, it went. Andrew, we got to figure out a way to flip it on its side. Anyway, what they do is they sink these caissons, they drill them.
Yeah.
Then they drop a 6-story cage into them. Then they fill them all with concrete.
Yeah.
And they make rows of it in front against the ocean, close to the ocean, maybe 20 feet back from the ocean.
Okay.
And the caissons are spread out like every 12, 15
and
feet.
Just wait, they're drilling into bedrock or, down two?
They're going down 6 stories. I don't know how far into bedrock that is, and it'll be called out. You get a soils report, a geologist, an engineer. It'll be a little different wherever.
What's the next step after they lay these caissons?
So I was curious how you build the seawall. The seawall is not above ground. It's below ground.
Yeah.
It's below.
Oh, so there has to be like underneath the earth that's just purely caissons?
What they do...
I was imagining a wall on top of these caissons.
No.
Oh, wow.
They dig, then they got to excavate down.
What?
Oh, yeah. And
what are we doing? Digging for gold?
When I was there, it was flooded because the seawater had seeped in overnight and flooded the excavated area, and they were trying to pump it out. You can hear the pump. They're pumping it out so they can get to it. Now I turned it up. Sorry. So the soil line is where I'm standing. And
so this is where the sand begins, I guess you'd say?
They dug it all out. You can pause it there. And the ocean is right there.
Yeah.
And so they go down, and what you're looking at is water at the bottom of this pit that they're pumping out.
Underneath sea level.
So what they have to do, because I talked to a guy, I guess you can play it out. Talk to him off camera. So they got all these...
This is the one building
This is
site.
one house. This is one small house. There's going to be $2.5 million into the foundation. You won't see any of it. They got to build a seawall on the seaside. They have to build a retaining wall on the highway side. These are millions of dollars it's going to cost to put a fucking house there. It's all in the name of safety, except for there's a house. The pier up the street is just on telephone poles. It was built in 1902.
So what?
Still there.
What are you in favor of, and why is it like this too? Like, why? It's just all up to code. This is the new code.
Okay. What people don't realize is safety can destroy society. We fucked up every kid in the name of safety because of COVID, because we had a whole bunch of people announce if one person dies, that's too many. All right, you shut down schools, you fucked up kids, you got an experimental vaccination they didn't need. Your safety shit. Okay. Add. They keep adding, and it's all in the name of safety, but at some point, it becomes cost prohibitive. It's too expensive. And the reason we can't get low-cost housing here is because there's so many fucking regulations that we can't do it. So people say all the time, they go, $680,000 for a 400-square-foot box for a homeless? Why does it cost $600,000? It's not like the Mexicans that are building it get $700 an hour. They get $30 an hour. The same as they would get in El Paso. It's all the fucking regulation. And by the way, the commercial builders go, I'm out. I'm not doing this. It's too expensive. And so's everyone along PCH, except for this one place. So here's how they do it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to treat you like a set. You'll be a lay person.
Oh, well, Listen. I am ready to get laid.
I was trying to figure out how they did the seawall, like exactly what was the seawall. All right, so they drill the caissons.
Yeah.
Caisson it's about 3 foot around. Maybe it's 32.
It looks enormous, yeah.
It's about 3 foot around, goes down 6 stories, comes up to about surface level, sand level.
Jeez.
They're spread out, let's say about 12 feet apart, and they make a line of them in front of the ocean. Not that far in front of the ocean. It's already flooded. They make a line. Then they excavate and they dig down, and they got to go 20 feet from the top to the bottom of the seawall. 20 feet. Now, to be fair, the caisson would come out of the ground about 4 feet or something at that level at the sea. So they go down about 15 feet. From the top, they go down about 15 feet, and they excavate.
And about how much does that cost? About
$2.5 million to get this fucking base
I mean,
done.
It's worth it if it blocks a tsunami.
It'll stop an atomic bomb.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So they go all the way down, they excavate. Now you have these round posts sticking up, now exposed, like 15 feet in the air, 20 feet in the air. So I'm saying to the guy, what do you do? Now, how do you do the seawall? He goes, the seawall, because my thing is, I'm thinking like an engineer, how are we tying the seawall into these round caisson, the round, and they stick up 15 feet. He goes, we got to dowel into them. I go, okay, I get it. Doweling is just drill it. You drill it, and you take 3/4 inch rebar, and every 1 foot, you just epoxy it in, like you're making a ladder. And they stick out like 3 feet, and they go in a foot into the caisson. And you do all that. Then you build a cage, which you've now doweled into the post. Every foot, you do the center of it. You, like I said, it's 3/4, number 6.
And then you put the wall on top of that.
You tie it into that, more rebar, more 3/4 inch rebar, and that connects from one post to the other post. Then you form it. Then you put the plywood. I asked them how thick, 14 inches thick, and it's 14 inches of reinforced concrete that gets tied into each post that goes down 15 feet, starts at the top of the post, goes all the way down, creates the seawall. But there are no other seawalls in the whole fucking stretch, and half the houses were built there before the seawall, and there's no erosion problem. It's just the fucking sand is underneath the house like it is everywhere else. The pier doesn't have a seawall. Then they have to build another wall on the highway side to retain the highway.
Well, how are we going to retain the ocean if we don't all build the seawall together? Build the wall. There's
miles and miles and miles of coast. This is going to take up about 35 feet of the coast. With the seawall.
You're driving me nuts with this, Adam Carolla. I don't know why they're building the seawall at all.
Because
I don't know why you're telling me this.
The Coastal Commission, the bitches at the Coastal Commission want it done.
You're saying that a new commission needs a new job to do, so they make new rules, so that they got to go 6 feet down, 6 stories down, and then put caissons on top of caissons so that we can just have a place to smoke cigarettes?
Right. And so the moral of the story is what is wrong with this? Okay. What is wrong with making a rule that says everyone who flies commercially has to wear a parachute? You go, well,
I'm down, dog. You feel like Superman standing
next to. It's going to take up a lot of room, and it's going to add a lot of extra expense to that ticket. Yeah, but in the name of safety. But in the name of safety. But in the name of safety. Yeah, I get it. Now, what it is the bitches that are making the rules, they're not operating the caisson rig. They're not paying for it. They're not paying for the cement. They're not paying for the rebar. They're not paying for the soils report. They're not paying for the deputy inspector. They're not paying for any of it. So they just sit around and make more fucking rules and cost more fucking money. And then at some point they go, we have a shortage of low-cost housing. You know what the average house is? The average family can't afford the average house. Yeah, bitch, they can't. Because we have a problem. Because you've overregulated and they can't build. And then their plan is never peeling back regulation. You know what their plan is? The average family of 4 can't afford a house in the San Fernando Valley because the average house in San Fernando Valley is $1.6 million. Here's my plan. We're going to raise the minimum wage to $80 an hour. We'll raise the minimum wage, and then that family of 4 will be able to afford that. No, McDonald's is moving out of state, bitch. That's what's happening, and they're automating, and they're going to have a kiosk and Flippy the robot, and no more work for your fucking people. But your plan is overregulate the fuck out of everything, add price to everything, and then when people can't afford the shit you overregulated, we'll give them an extra $80 an hour for minimum wage, and then they'll be able to afford it. That's your fucking retard's version of the economy.
The other thing they're doing is they're trying to eliminate, especially in Los Angeles, single-family home zoned neighborhoods.
Right.
So you can't afford a family home? No problem. We're going to put an apartment building next door, and maybe you can afford one of those.
Yes. So I will keep an eye on this one place and one place only. Now, the other places...
Do you know who owns it? Are these people Chinese investors, or are they
I heard a story that they'd already had their shit in place before the fire. If you ever see any progress,
right?
Like when Karen Bass goes, we finished our first home in the Palisades. That house had already pulled permits, pulled soils, pulled engineering, that cleared plan check. That place was pre-fire, ready to be built. That's why it's done now. So don't believe the hype. There's one property in all of PCH that's being built on. There's a story. And the story is they probably pulled all the permits and did all the stuff and were moving before the fire. And then the fire came in, did them a favor, took the structure out, and now they're going because there was nothing else. And the other thing, there's a wall in the Palisades that somebody graffitied on. and it said, like, thanks for taking my house, Karen Bass. And that thing promptly got painted over. Right. But all the other places on PCH, that shit's tagged. It's all tagged. It's been tagged. I took pictures of it months ago. Nobody's coming in and cleaning that up.
I did it, Dick.
So Karen Bass did not dispatch anybody to clean up all the shit along PCH. She did dispatch someone to clean up the sign criticizing her for the Palisades fire. That one got taken care of. Yes, it's like my house now, Mayor Bass, and it's somebody stenciled it.
Straight Banksy.
Right, and that is Banksy-esque. And then they just went and cleaned it up. But again, I'll take pictures and put them up. It's all.
Well, I'm just going to keep tagging dicks until one of them goes viral.
Yeah, by the way, like the owner would clean that up. There's no fucking house there. Why would you get him with a bucket of primer? There's more new tagging. So I will keep you posted, but it is absolutely insane. It's cost prohibitive, and it's a metaphor for the problems we have in the city, but it's also a metaphor for big government. It's why you don't want a bunch of fucking dumb yentas sitting around making fucking choices. And when anyone talks about dictatorship, fuck right off, because the ultimate overhand and overreach of government is you not being able to build shit on your own property. You understand, you got to ask them for permission, and you got to put $2.5 million into a seawall before you can begin framing that house. And they don't look at that as overreach of government, but they do look at Trump rounding up illegals as overreach of government. That's where they're at. They don't look at forcing a vaccine on you as overreach of government, but they look at enforcement of the border as overreach of government. They're all fucking ass backwards. It's got to change, man.
Yeah, it's like a softening of the culture. On that side is a lot of people that have an abundance of empathy. Some would argue suicidal empathy.
I'm gonna go with suicidal empathy. All right, Mayhem, I'm gassed out now.
All right,
I know you
God
got
bless
stories,
you.
but
Thanks
tired.
for that.
Hey, Santa Barbara this weekend. My daughter and her friends are coming out. Everybody, that'll be this Friday. Santa Barbara Comedy Club. Then Saturday, me and Jay Moore, Dos Lagos Amphitheater out here in Corona. And then it's off to Florida. Doing good there. I think some tickets in the Miami Improv. A couple shows each night. December 12th and 13th. Mayhem, what do you got?
Yeah, I got Thunder Studios Lights Out promotion. We'll see you guys there this weekend.
And Joe Pistone, Deep Cover, the real Donnie Brasco. Until next time, it's Adam Crawford, Joe Pistone, and Mayhem saying, mahalo.